I think everyone was excited when we heard a Nike collaboration was coming this week. We got a Nike SB collaboration last week, although I do wish there was some apparel. And then we get a Nike collaboration this week. The collaboration, it's kind of weak, but there are still some good items to go for in terms of resale, and there are still some items I plan on copying. And speaking of copying, if you guys would like to see a live cop this week, of course, take a second, smash the like button down below. If this video gets 1,500 likes, I'll do a live cop this Thursday. Make sure you caress that little gray thumb until you give it blue balls. Whatever you gotta do, I greatly appreciate it. All the likes, all the comments, that does help the videos. And the last 2 videos did really well. I mean, the last live cop's literally like at over 30K views, which is insane. So thank you guys for the support. Also, I have an announcement to make. Oh, we're halfway there. Plus one is officially over halfway full. During the drop list last Wednesday, I said we are 30% full, and in less than a week, we went from 30% to like right now we're about 60 to 70% full. Now, what that means for you guys, if you guys have been thinking about joining Plus One, my cook group, that's only $9.99 to enter, less than $10, cheaper than a Netflix subscription. But Netflix! Then do it now before it fills, because once it fills, the group will be closed. And then after that, you will only be able to join if you catch a restock, and not to mention the price will increase after that. Of course, everyone who joins before the actual group closes, if you guys enter at $9.99, that's gonna be the price you pay for the entirety of your membership. The majority of the cook groups that offer the same things that Plus One offers are about 3 times the price. In fact, there are several cook groups that are 3 times the price that actually offer less than us. Just go read the last 2 videos comments and you can see tons of different commenters that talk about the W's they took because of Plus One. I'm telling you, there are a lot of tools in there. If you are getting into reselling, or if you don't feel like your cook group is really helping you out, check out Plus One, top link in the description. And we have a plethora of different services for everyone. Obviously, one thing that I mentioned last week is every single member gets Cardinal completely free. Right now, you can't even buy Cardinal, and I do recommend, whether Plus One is full or not, if Cardinal has a restock, take advantage of that, because you guys saw me cook those Nike SB Dunks using Cardinal last week. Normally, Cardinal is $30 to purchase plus $5 a month after that. However, every single Plus One member gets it completely free with their membership. And recently, we partnered with Rental Assist, which is a bot rental service, and every member of Plus One gets a discount when renting bots through Rental Assist. So that way, if you're looking to get into botting, we can provide those tools as well. Like I said, check out the Discord. I will leave a link to the website in the description down below. If you do not join the Discord, I mean, 1, you're missing out, but 2, at the very least, follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter. Thank you guys to everyone that does support what I do. And like I said, if you don't take my word for it, at the very least, just go read the comments. I'm sure you'll probably see some comments from Plus One members in the comments below as well. But let's get to the resale this week and talk about what I think you guys should be going for. So first off, we have the Nike Supreme collaboration. And I'm not gonna lie, I am not a fan of this collaboration at all. I feel like overall, this collaboration feels a little bit scattered. It doesn't really feel like it's very cohesive, and it just feels like a bunch of random shit put together. But I mean, that's like 30% of Supreme collaborations. But there are still a couple pieces that I recommend when it comes to reselling. However, of course, it does depend on the retails. If I get retails before I post, I'll try to insert a little something, so that way you guys have as much information as you could possibly get going into Thursday. Probably the most notable piece in my opinion is, of course, the Supreme puffer coat. I saw how expensive the Nike Nocta puffer was, so it kind of has me somewhat concerned about the retail of this piece. I wouldn't be surprised if it was $348 to $398. I could see a $328, like Boone said. He said $328 to $348. If it is $298 though, it's 100% cop. Even if it's a $328, I would say it's probably a cop. You just gotta think with taxes, it's really gonna be about $360. So in order to make some actual profit, it's gonna have to basically sell for anywhere from like $450 to $550. And for that reason, I do think it'll probably be a hold item regardless. If we compare this to previous Nike collaborations, I don't think Supreme's done a Nike puffer before. I could be wrong, but the closest recent example I could think of is this Nike jacket that released that is based off of an old Nike bootleg. And the quality of that jacket is terrible, and that's why the retail was a little bit lower. It was $248. And that jacket sat a little bit above retail. Like, it was going for anywhere from $50 to $100 over retail up until like the last couple months. For some reason, it just skyrocketed in price, and now that thing goes for anywhere between $600 and $700, which is fucking insane. I have no idea why, but looking at the sales history of that piece, it kind of gives me some faith about this Nike puffer. Now, getting into the details of this Nike puffer, the one thing that does kind of deter me is that absolutely hideous right aligned Nike snakeskin tramp stamp on the back. This jacket would be way cleaner if it just removed that little branding off the back. You already have the Supreme hit on the neck on both sides. It is reversible, so you have one side that just has a super clean Nike hit on the titty, the chesticle, and then if you flip it and dip it, shouts to my brother Paul Cantu, you have this all over tonal Nike branding. I think it's dope. I think it's a super clean piece. That's like the one thing. If we could just remove that, this jacket would definitely be a cop. And I'm still probably gonna cop it. These colors are pretty nice. Like I said, I do think over time it will resell. However, However, if you are concerned about getting this piece, or if there's really anything from the releases that we discussed that you want to get, we did this last week, we're gonna do it again this week, but we are going to be running like anywhere from 40 to 60 free slots for our members on every single Supreme week. So if you're in +1, you will have a chance to get free slots this week. Those will probably be dropped like Wednesday, maybe later today, I'm not quite sure. And one of the pieces that I think will be somewhat worthy is this beanie that has a very similar style to the reversible puffer coat. It is also reversible. It has one side with that hideous snakeskin Nike logo, and then the other side, it has this all over Nike branding. This piece I think is a guaranteed resale item. Honestly, you could probably even single cart this, but if you really want to be safe and make sure that you're able to turn some profit, I would try to fit this in a $200+ cart, like $201 or up, so that way you can get the free shipping. However, if we look at the past Nike beanies, I mean, they're going for anywhere from like $130 to $200. I don't think this one will go for as much, but if the retail is like 30, 40 bucks, I could definitely see this going for anywhere from 75 to 110 bucks. Keep in mind, these beanies fit like absolute dog shit, so for my personal collection, I'm definitely not getting this. On Cam's Kicks podcast, Bo the intern, he was wearing like a Carhartt beanie and it fits like a broken condom. That's essentially what this is gonna fit like. These beanies fit like dog shit. You guys know if you watch the videos, I really only with the loose gauge beanies. I hate these beanies. Moving on, we still have some other pieces with this hideous snakeskin logo. You have this like quarter or half zip hoodie with a matching sweatpant that has like some sort of zip cargo pocket. Also hideous, I don't like it. That being said, I don't even know why I said that being said. I don't think these pieces are gonna resell. I feel like the majority of this collection is essentially going to be worn by gangsters in London, Chirac Savages, and maybe Drake's team, but probably not because they're just gonna wear Nocta. Now, although you have this kind of like shitty sweatsuit dropping, you do have this really cool velour sweatsuit, and this piece is so sick. It has this really dope Nike monogram throughout the entire piece, but it's not super loud because it's the same color as the actual piece. It's like embossed in the actual garment. Then you have the taping going down the side with the Supreme branding. I think that camel and brown colorway is so freaking beautiful, and this is the only time I've ever seen a velour piece where I think this might actually resale. I don't want to tell you guys to go for it because Supreme velour pieces have never really resold. If it does resell, it'll be a first. I just think that brown colorway is so freaking gorgeous, and if you plan on retiring from reselling, it's an excellent piece if you plan on getting into the career of pimping. If you have not received the COVID antibodies yet, then they also have a little piece for the coronavirus running rampant, the zombie apocalypse denier right here. You got this little face mask thing. I don't think it'll actually protect from anything, but I do think because of the coronavirus in general, this actually does have potential to resell. It does depend on the retail, and sometimes these cheaper Supreme Nike items, because they are a little bit more accessible, have potential. But I still think overall the main pieces to focus on from this collaboration are the puffer coat and of course the beanie. And if you wanted to focus on this snakeskin belt, by all means go ahead. I personally can never convince myself to get this piece. This thing is so fucking hideous. Who the hell asked for this? A Nike snakeskin belt. Like, that just seems like the most random shit of all time. This belt looks like it was owned by a father in the 70s that used to beat his child. Do not ever take one of your pants belt loop's virginity by inserting this belt in through the belt loop. Like, for the love of all that is holy, do not disgrace your pants like that. You guys know I'm a pants collector. And then last but not least, we actually have probably my favorite piece from this collab that I will not be going for because it's just so basic, but the like button-up Supreme Nike shirts. This striped button-up, it's super clean. It's a piece that I could find in the thrifts any day of the week. I think it's one of the cooler pieces releasing. However, that being said, I don't think it's gonna have resale, and even though I like it, I can't really justify paying the price tag when I could literally just go to a thrift store and find like a Ralph Lauren alternative. Okay, so moving on to the rest of the Droplist, right? We just talked about the Nike collaboration. That's probably the main focus, and there might be some additions to this. Joss by Jay blessed our corneas, our little eye testicles on Monday, which is pretty freaking early for a Supreme Droplist. If there are any updates, I'll try to either update it on like Instagram. Obviously in the Discord, you guys will stay up to date, especially because Wednesday night I'm gonna be in voice chat just kind of going over the Droplist and the retails. I'm gonna try to do that every Wednesday night, by the way. So if you are in +1, you want to tune in Wednesday night, randomly sometime for probably like 30 minutes to an hour, I'll be in voice chat just going over the Droplist. And if no one's in there, I'll just be talking to myself. Anyways, you have this like digi camo jacket. It's hideous. It's like disrespectful to camo. It looks like the Matrix falling little green letters thing, except turned 90 degrees. Look, man, I used to be in the military. I like camo. I like a lot of cool camo pieces, but this is just despicable. Absolutely disgraceful. Retail, I'm not quite sure what it'll be, but I would expect anywhere between 200 to 250, probably like 228, but yeah, I don't have faith in this reselling. Now, you have the Supreme Shine Hooded Sweatshirt, and this piece right here is actually referencing an older Supreme graphic. Supreme actually used this graphic in 2001, and I like this graphic. I think it's really cool. If you guys know the history behind this, this is actually a reference to old Brillo Brillo boxes. The reason this particular Brillo graphic or Brillo design became so popular is because Andy Warhol actually recreated these Brillo boxes, like basically one-of-one copies out of wood, and sold them as art pieces. And the reason I'm laughing is because that was somewhat controversial, as a lot of people felt as if that's not really art, as opposed to just basically copying something that we see in the real world. But if you're familiar with Andy Warhol, he would often reference things that we see in our everyday life, like Campbell soup. And some people would argue that art imitates life, and that's kind of the argument in favor of it. If you guys want to educate me anymore, because that's about like the extent of my knowledge when it comes to the Andy Warhol Brillo boxes, then of course let me know in the comments down below. I always like learning more about that. But I do think that this sweatshirt is pretty dope. I don't really care for the colorways. I think the olive is by far the best colorway, but Supreme hoodies don't really resell like they used to, especially the ones that often reference these older popular graphics. For example, like the Apple hoodie that released. I don't know. I mean, it does have potential, because this is also way better than some of those, but that's also just an opinion, so I could be wrong. Now, we have the Supreme Mophis, and the Supreme Mophis don't have a whole lot of potential, but there is some potential. So I looked on B&H to kind of get an idea of what these Mophis go for, and I found one that had a 20% larger battery that was $69.99. However, that Supreme branding usually comes with a 20% larger price tag, so it might be around there, who knows? Either way, this is a wireless charging Mophie, so you can just lay your phone right on top of it. Sometimes these Mophis do all right, but you kind of have to sell them at the right time, because next season Supreme's gonna do another Mophie. And depending on what that Mophie is, that could either hurt the resale or help the resale of this Mophie. It's still a decent multi-car. I mean, if you can get that, the beanie, if you could get those two and the puffer, that would be a beautiful car. Because then you don't have to pay shipping on the Mophie or the beanie, and you still get the puffer as like an investment piece. Then you get to kind of flip the beanie fairly early on to recuperate some of your money. But yeah, moving on, we have this knitted sweater. This thing is fucking hideous in every single color. I love knitted sweaters. You guys know they're retirement home staples. If you want to bag yourself an old lady with some sexy ass wrinkles all over her forehead, knitted sweaters are the way to do it. But you do not want to get this knitted sweater. This is knitted sweaters gone wrong. The green one looks like something a SoundCloud rapper would wear, you know, someone that basically ends every sentence with slat and tries to like imitate Playboy Cardi, like, or Lil Uzi. I could see Lil Uzi wearing this for sure. But I mean, I could see Lil Uzi wearing literally anything. That man might walk outside tomorrow wearing a shoebox. But I just fucking hate this sweater so much, and I like pieces that have the American flag on it when it is done somewhat tastefully. However, I do want to give a quick little disclaimer, because some people get upset when I go hard on these pieces. I want to say, if you have a different opinion, that is okay. Fuck my opinion. I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not nobody. I'm a regular ass person. So if you like it, cop it. My friends in real life always cop shit that I think is trash, and I cop shit they think is trash. I probably cop shit y'all think is trash. It's just the name of the game, so don't let my opinion sway you. I don't want to make anyone feel bad about their purchasing decisions. Before we get to the hats, we do have a couple premium tops. We have this long sleeve, and you have this long sleeve that basically looks like the Supreme brand just dropped acid. Looks kind of weird. It's not very wearable. I don't plan on going for it. Then you have this Supreme premium tee that has this embroidered little logo. It's trash. It basically like says Supreme me. It's really kind of weird too, because they just basically took it and then like rotated it and then cut it. It's just a weird ass graphic, but it is embroidered, and although it's embroidered, I'm still gonna say it's trash, and I would not recommend getting this if you plan on reselling. But there are, okay, I was gonna say a couple hats, but really the hats are kind of trash too. There's really only one hat that I even give a fuck about, which is this beautiful corduroy bucket hat. You already know bucket hat, brick squads. Look at the beautiful corduroy on this thing. Oh my God, that corduroy is so thick with 2 C's. It's like the BBC of corduroy, and I love the fact that the corduroy doesn't just go straight. It's not just 2 panels. You see the little panel in the middle where the corduroy is kind of like ribbed diagonally around, like, oh, it just looks so freaking sick. Then you have the little Supreme cursive hit. It definitely has some old school vibes to it. I f with this tub. The best colorways, of course, black and brown, maybe even that lavender. Probably not though, because the lavender is not that wearable, but I think the lavender, the brown, and the black just all look so good. Personally, I'm gonna get the brown one. Like, I'm gonna get it for my personal. Hopefully, if they have like a size extra large. They won't. It's gonna be like small and medium, medium and large. I'll have to get the medium and large, and hopefully it fits my Jimmy Neutron size head. And the other 2 hats are trash. You have this like spray paint hat, which looks okay in like the black and the lavender, but then the red and the blue, you can see the contrast lines. It just looks like dog shit. Then you have this like nylon ripstop hat with the little small box branding. It has like a little weird buckle on the back that looks like a child's hat. It just is trash. These 2 hats, garbage. Absolute garbanzo beans. But yeah, boys, that is basically everything I believe from this release. Of course, there may be some changes. I'm not the biggest fan of the Supreme Nike collaboration. However, like I said, there's still money to be made this week. Don't sleep. And if if you do sleep on this Supreme release, there's some shoes dropping this morning. Hopefully, I don't know because I'm filming this Monday and I'm dropping it Tuesday, but hopefully I was able to cop these popcorn Air Forces. Also, there are quite a few pairs of Dunks releasing tomorrow, as well as the carpet Nike SB Dunk highs that I want so freaking bad for the personal collection. I don't know why, but although Dunk highs don't resell like Dunk lows, I've kind of been vibing more with the Dunk highs. That being said, the Cook Group +1 is not just focused on Supreme. We are focused on Supreme, Kith, Palace, and every single sneaker release. So if you guys are not aware of these sneaker releases or aware of how to potentially cop these and future sneaker releases, make sure you check out that top link in the description. Thank you guys for rocking me. I do appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. All the comments I've been getting on the videos from people in +1 that have been taking W's, like that means a lot to me. If you put the time in, there is money to be made. So thank you guys to everyone that joins, and thank you to everyone that actually gives it a shot. Like, I really have been working hard on this, and it means a lot to me to see people get good service out of it. Like, it's just dope, man. I don't know. Like I said, it's my actual service. I started +1. It's like my baby, okay? It means a lot to me. Anyways, thank you guys for rocking with me. I think I already said that. Whenever I get emotional, I start to forget. But anyways, as always, keep the star alive, and peace the fuck out.
Star like Chris say shooting on magic. All these thoughts been ran through. Goddamn it, like back chief keep drop. I don't like that shit. Lil Reese in the coupe clip do a backflip.